Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I wanted to talk about the natal aspect Saturn conjunct to Uranus. So this aspect does not happen very often. So there's certain groups of people, like certain age groups that have it. The last one was about 1988-ish. And so there's people born in 1987, 1988, 1989, although it gets out of orb then, who have this conjunction. And then it goes back to about the early 1940s, and then it goes back even way farther, like the late 1800s, I believe. So this is not a common aspect to have. It's not something, right, that happens like every year or every other year or something. This is a rare configuration that happens, I guess every 40-ish years or 45 years. So it's definitely showing a very, I would say, like a rare personality, because it's rare to find someone that contains the energies of both Saturn and Uranus together in unison, because that is the energy of the conjunction. It is united. It is like you're both at the same time, right? So, there's many difficult aspects of this conjunction, which I'll talk about, but I actually do feel like this is quite a positive energy to have in your natal chart, quite a like forward thinking, rebellious, like in the right way energy to have. It's like you don't easily get held back by your own fears. Like you still have fears, fear can be represented by Saturn, but there's always this part of you that is like, no, I'm going to like bring a new energy here. It's a very like not getting bogged down by the past energy. So, one manifestation of this could be that like you are leaving the inherited family belief systems and constructs. Like, for example, you could have like an early upbringing where there was some sort of belief system, like, it could have been like religion, or it could have been just like a very strict upbringing. And like you come in and, you decide for yourself, like, I'm not going to take that on. I'm not going to be that energy. And you end up, doing something totally different. Or it could be something like, there's like a family business, or like every man in your family is, going to have this profession, and like this is what we do. And then you come in and you're like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something totally opposite to that. But it's like, it's not coming just from a place of like being contrary, or like, it's actually like, no, I'm going to follow my own soul path, my own authenticity, and I'm not going to take that on. Now, where this can sometimes become a negative thing is like in personal relationships, there can be like this energy of, well, if this is bogging me down in any way, I'm unhappy, or I'm not gonna stay here. I'm not gonna, be in this energy. So like if this is like contacting Venus or Mars or something, you could see someone who maybe like is, as soon as things get tough or heavy, they're like, I'm out. And so like you have to look at everything. Just this conjunction alone isn't gonna show that, but what's going to make this really significant is when this is aspecting the personal planets in any way, then this is going to really personalize this energy, and you're going to really feel it a lot more. You're still going to feel it even if it's in isolation, but it's when it's contacting the personal planets that this is going to really be a big part of your personality. So, sometimes, like I said, yeah, the negative side of this could be that like as soon as something is getting a little heavy, you're out and you're on to the next and into the future, right? Out with the past, out with the old. And sometimes, Uranus, of course, is a shocking energy. It's a sudden, impulsive, like rush of electricity. So, depending on what planet is stronger too, like is Saturn stronger than Uranus, or is Uranus stronger than Saturn, right? Are you more Uranian? Are you more Saturnian? Sometimes the more Uranus people or the more Uranian people are going to be too sudden or too shocking in their behavior for people and really gonna, break a lot of hearts, or just be kind of like abrupt and like in a way that's like unusual for this world, like lacking in tact. You could see that sometimes. Now, that's not going to be the case every single time, right? Obviously, a lot of people are born in these years with this aspect. So, but that sometimes that can manifest because there is, and you will notice this about people, there is like an electricity running through them. There is like a current of energy running through these people at all times that causes them to not stay stagnant. Like the current is always running. So, sometimes that can manifest as like sudden, shocking, impulsive behaviors, right? If Uranus is running the show. But sometimes Saturn will be just as strong. And that's when we really get the perfect balance of Saturn and Uranus, where there's like equal parts here. So like Saturn says, okay, we have like respect for tradition. We have like, understanding of the rules and like why these rules are important, whether, whatever rules they are. Look at the sign and house placement of Saturn. And yet we can break those rules when required, and we can, let go of those traditions when it's going to be for our highest good. So it's like in the right way, like in the most balanced individual, we have that adequate balance of like the conservative and the, more free thinking individual. And so they meet together, and we have this like brilliance and this ability to like stay with a goal and have that Saturn and like really accomplish and achieve and be stable and be traditional. But then at the same time, we're bringing in a new energy. We're bringing in an energy that's not been seen before. It's not been done before, not in our family, maybe not in the world, not in our profession. So this can lead to quite a bit of a show around us. And what I mean by that is like, people see you and they see what you're doing and they see how it's different, and this can lead to actually like being quite well known if this is like associated with the 10th house in any way. And what it can often show is like you're doing something like your profession or whatever that is actually traditional. Maybe you're doing a job that is very, it's been done for years, but you're doing it in a way that has never been done before and never been seen before, right? So that's like the blending of Saturn and Uranus. Now, that's not going to be the case for everybody, but if it's associated with the 10th house and the profession, or the 6th house and the daily work, there could be something to do with like, we're doing something old in a new way. And you won't be able to help but do that. That's the thing with the conjunction, is like, it's such a natural part of you that you can't just do the thing in the old way. It's not like you're not trying to be innovative. You're not trying to, be different. It's something you cannot help but be, right? And in the early life, this can cause some insecurities, right? Before the Saturn return, before we've matured into this can definitely make you feel like a bit of an oddball or an alien, right? Because you absolutely cannot like blend. And as much as you try to shrink down and like hide your energy and what you are and your way, it's like then it bursts out even more. So you can't hide the fact that you're different, and you can't hide the fact that you do things in a different way. You're going to be noticed for this. And so the sooner that you can just accept your authenticity and accept that you're kind of this like new breed of human alien on this planet, you're going to feel a lot better about yourself, because it will be like impossible to suppress. The people with the square, the people with the opposition can sometimes succeed for a short period of time to try to suppress one of the energies, either Saturn or Uranus, but you with the conjunction, it's like they're just coming out of you in this unstoppable flow, and you'll be better off to just realize this and accept this part of you and allow it to be expressed. Now, With that being said, though, something for relaxation, something for meditation, something for higher spiritual connection that is calming might be of use to you with this conjunction, because it is kind of an energizing influence. Like, you can be a more restless kind of energy where, the Uranus energy, you never quite know how it's going to manifest. So, having some sort of meditation practice, having some sort of, something to calm the nerves that is healthy, could really be helpful too with this conjunction. If you're someone, in about 1988, when Saturn was also conjunct Neptune, and you have the triple conjunction of Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, it's even more crucial that you find healthy ways to calm the nerves, because with Neptune involved as well, any form of escapism is very dangerous for your energy. So you definitely want to find healthy ways to kind of cope with the energy that you have with this conjunction, especially in that time period, which I will do a video about Saturn conjunct Neptune. That's another one on the request list. I might even do that after this if I have the time. Because you guys with the triple conjunction are like a whole new breed of this, that you have to consider the Saturn Neptune conjunction also. So that was a super rare alignment that happened there in 1988-ish or so. You guys are a whole different breed, but even just with this conjunction alone, you're definitely not of this world completely. There's something very unorthodox and different about the way that you do things, and what you really came for. And that can be a big part of it too, is like, you can feel that sense of mission and destiny more than the average person. It does feel big. It does feel like you're here to do something that's not been done before. And, luckily with this conjunction, you do actually, you have less inhibition about doing things in a different way. Like, it's like it takes a little bit to get going, but once you really figure this out, it's easier for you to accept things that are outside the norm. Like, and also in other people too, you're kind of like unbiased and non-judgmental. Like, you're open-minded in a really nice way, because, Saturn can be where we're judging, and then Uranus is where we're free. So you have this way of like having discernment and judgment without being so strict or like putting everything into a box. Like, you're actually quite open to many different ideas and ways of thinking, and it's actually a really good quality, the way that you think, the way that you are. So what else do I want to say about this? I mean, I guess that's what I'll say about this one. You definitely can tell when people have this, or like once you realize that they have this, and you can kind of feel the energy coursing through them. It's definitely a very unique placement and energy, and it's a big one. It's not easy, but it is easier than the harsher aspects. It's like an opportunity to be both Saturnian and Uranian at the same time, which can lead to great success in life, because you have that innovation, that genius, that brilliance. I don't know if I said that you're kind of a genius, but you also have the ability to like be constructive with it. So I'd love to know your experience of this aspect in the natal chart. If you have it, or you're with someone that has it, let me know in the comments. And thank you for your requests, you guys. Keep those requests coming, and we'll talk soon. Bye.